Hello, you hot hotties, and welcome back to Wild&T with Tawny.
Tara.
And Teddy.
We're going to kick off today's episode with a new little segment. This is Teddy's personal favorite segment, Teddy Finds It Funny.
Yes, and today we're actually going to play a game that I got set up for you guys. We are doing honest TV show titles. So it's like alternative titles for TV shows. You have to guess what the actual TV show is. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah,
I think so.
Okay, and I haven't seen all of these TV shows, but they're pretty popular, so you should know, be able to get at least a sense. If you can't guess any of them, then
we lose.
Okay, so this one is one that I saw, and it's unrealistic expectations of living single in New York.
Isn't that like a lot of them though?
It's a very, very popular one. It's also pro tip or a hint. I find it extremely boring and I can't watch it because it's so boring.
Suits?
No.
What genre?
It's like the laugh track.
Sex in the City.
No, the other one.
Friends?
Yeah. But
also boring.
Another one is alternative title, Watching Animals Die.
Animal Planet.
Very close. Very close.
Planet Earth?
Yes, that's the one.
Animal Planet is like a program or no, I don't know.
It's like a whole channel, right?
A whole channel.
Oh, yeah.
But also could be applicable, yes. Okay, modern day harem.
I need a hint.
Will you accept this rose?
The Bachelor?
Yeah, harem.
Because they make out with everyone.
No.
Okay. Starvation and manipulation.
Survivor.
Yes.
Right.
That was a fun one. Proof that being rich doesn't buy class.
Real Housewives.
Yes.
That's what I was gonna say.
Real Housewives.
Yeah, if you do any reality show, I'll be right there.
Tara's favorites.
I'm on top of this.
Okay. Bratty daughter with daddy issues. The dad is a criminal and he works with the FBI.
Blacklist?
Yes.
Oh my, I'm literally watching that right now. How did I not get that?
Did you make that up, Teddy? Did you make that up?
Of course I did. She's honestly the worst. And does that not sum up the entire TV show? Like, come on. And then, another daughter one. So, entitled daughter raises good daughter who turns out to be the worst daughter.
Gilmore Girls.
Done.
I seriously love the trend on that. How people are like, I've been watching Gilmore Girls as an adult and it's terrible. Like, this is not, these characters are not good. I was like, well, thank you for you.
Just the complete mind shift to like when you're a teenager to when you're an adult and you're like, they're the worst. They're awful.
Shows that don't age well. Gilmore Girls is one of those.
Yes. this one was one that I came up with, and I have two alternative titles. So the first one I'm going to put is Boss Babe Drug Lord.
Queen of the South.
Done.
I was gonna guess it, but I've never seen it, so I wasn't sure. I didn't want to be embarrassed.
Oh, you got me right. And the other alternative title was Maybe I Should Become a Drug Lord.
I for sure would have said Queen of the South.
We don't do drugs, but anyways, it's a really good show.
Maybe I have to become a drug lord.
Bonnie, watch the show and you'll want to, especially just being from Madeira. It's like it kind of wouldn't be surprising for us.
I mean, I was just talking to a friend today about how I can turn my basement into a greenhouse and grow poppies.
Absolutely. And then I have one last one. I'm not sure if you guys watch this show. It's newer, but the alternative title is Kids Picking Fights with Adults.
I need another hint.
Disney Plus, and the adults happen to be Greek gods.
What
Percy
is it? Artemis? Oh.
No, wait.
You're thinking Artemis Fowl.
Yes.
It was Percy Jackson.
That's what I've been thinking of this whole time since I've seen Percy Jackson. I was like, I feel like I've seen this show, and I was thinking of Artemis Fowl. I don't even know if I've seen Artemis Fowl now that I think of it, but
Beautiful. You guys did pretty good. So give yourself a round of applause.
We only got hints for most of them, not all of them.
You got Gilmore Girls right away, like immediately.
yeah, you did.
I was waiting for you to throw it in there. That's why.
and Tara, you got Survivor so quick.
Oh yeah, Survivor was so fast.
My favorite alternative title is from a show where she's like, "What's that movie about the gay guys on the mountain?" And she's like, "Oh, Lord of the Rings."
Don't do the Lord of the Rings dirty like that.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
We love Lord of the Rings, but that was so funny to me. It was perfect. So good.
Beautiful. Well, thanks for playing. Teddy finds it funny. We're actually going to move on to another kind of storytelling thing. We're doing an Am I the A-hole? It has come back for a second round, so let's start with an Am I the A-hole for assuming my baby could come to a Super Bowl party? Here is the setting. Wife and I, late 20s, got invited to a Super Bowl party yesterday. We have a 15-month-old. I assumed with the invite our kid was invited to, it was a text invite saying this is happening at this time and this place, no other details. In my history of going to Super Bowl parties, they've always been family friendly, so I didn't think twice about bringing my kids to my buddy's house. We are on the West Coast, and it's over by 8, so it's a day thing and not really a late night thing. Apparently, my kid was not invited, and my buddy who hosted wasn't happy he was brought over. We had a discussion that turned into an argument, and we left. He never mentioned no kids, but am I the a-hole for assuming he could come?
Okay, if you watch the Super Bowl, there were baby commercials, which is super funny. Wasn't there like that one?
Yeah,
baby?
the E-Trade one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then second of all, if this were women, she would have checked in and asked if it was okay to bring their kid. I'll be honest with you. Communication, I'd say they're both to blame.
Well, but at the same time, though, I mean, I remember going to football games with Dad all the time, and he would, meet up at somebody's house, and they would just bring the kids, and the kids would all play together. And I mean, he did say that every other party he's been to, there's always been kids. So I mean,
He didn't say if it's every other party with this guy, though. It hasn't been every other party with this guy. Does this guy have kids?
It doesn't sound like it.
I want to know
Because
what the argument
that
was
could be
about.
a big
why,
assumption. It could
like
be a
why
big
was
assumption.
he not? Why was he not wanting there to be kids though? Like, what was the issue with him bringing their kid? That's what I want to know.
I know, yeah. Like, was
Like,
it
what was
because
going on at the Super
they
Bowl
wanted
party?
to cut loose?
Like, like,
Is their kid the a-hole? Like, is that the problem?
was he screaming the whole time? I mean,
Yeah. My guess is that this guy doesn't have kids, but also he shouldn't have gotten upset when there wasn't a communication that it was an adults only situation. But also, bro, if you're gonna bring your child, you do have to verify with people if it's like about bringing children. Like, it's not like a can I bring her, like, okay, great, like my wife and my kid are all gonna be there, we can't wait. And then if that person says nothing, then you are good. But honestly, if this were women, it would have been verified about the child. It would have. I can guarantee you, especially as a single person throwing a party. And I invited my friends and they were like, is it cool if I bring the child? I'd be like, yes or no, depending on the situation.
Yes. Because I've thrown like Galentine's parties, right? And I've had friends who had babies and they're like, you know, they would either be like, okay, I'm going to let my husband know so that he can take care of our baby, or they'd be like, is it okay if I bring my baby with me? And it's always yes. Like, it's always yes. They can bring their baby. We're not doing it.
That's just what we do. So.
Yeah. I mean, if it's like their 8-year-old son, no, they can't come to a Galentine's party. I'm sorry, but that's different. But like a baby is a baby.
At a friend's house. Yeah.
I mean, some people are okay with that, but like most of the time, for the scenes and the settings that I had, it wouldn't have worked well. Like the kid wouldn't have felt comfortable, I don't think. And so that's more what that's about.
I also feel like this type of set, I mean, there are parties, you know, there are things that go down where it's obvious if you do or don't bring your kid, or if you know there's other couples
like a bachelor party or something.
Yeah, I know. Like then yes, but I mean, but also if he knew who else was going and other people did have kids, you know, then it's like, okay, it sounds like it's probably a family thing. But if everybody else going, you know, were single or don't have kids, then I feel like there was just a lot more that I'd want to know before saying whether or not he is the a-hole.
Yeah,
I'm definitely surprised it got into a fight.
Sure.
Like an argument. They must have been drinking, right? Like
I mean, I've had people randomly bring their dogs over to my house for parties, and that kind of bothers me because the dog is different than a child, okay? And then somebody else brings their dog and they're chasing each other around, and I'm like, this has food. Like, why did you bring your dog without asking us? But that's not a baby.
Yeah, I don't.
It sounds like the guy would have been more on board if he brought his dog over than his baby.
He probably would have been.
Probably, yeah. Some people get really enthusiastic about that. There is this one comment that I wanted to read. Let me just say your title is massively misleading. A baby can be held in your arms, can be comforted with a bottle or a pacifier or a small toy. A baby is generally cool as long as someone is holding him and looking at him. A 15-month-old is a toddler, a walking, talking ball of potential catastrophic destruction. Very different things at an adult party. Signed, a mother of 4. And then it was the verdict. According to this person, you're the a-hole. You should have verified that your toddler was welcome. Barring that, you should have accepted with grace that your toddler was not welcome when informed by the host. Should the host have stated no children in their invitation? Emphatically, yes. However, it is your responsibility as the steward of your child to ensure that they are welcome and properly behaved in the given circumstance. Pretty well said. Pretty much what you guys were saying. So,
learning lessons, though. It's just a learning lesson for men out there.
Right.
Sometimes you have to do that kind of due diligence with children.
Yeah,
he's a 15-month-old, so he's probably haven't come across many parties where he's been kicked out for his child. So learning some things. Won't be the first time, is what it sounds like. Or the last time.
All right. So my story is, am I the a-hole for not switching treadmills when a woman asked me to because she was uncomfortable? This is my first time reading the story, so I'll be just as shocked as you guys.
Very interesting.
I want to already say yes because of my experiences at the gym.
Yeah, that's the story. That's it. That's yes, you're the a-hole.
We don't have to go further.
Okay, starts with, hi all, had a strange encounter at the gym the other day and would just like unbiased opinions. It wasn't very busy and it's a small mid-sized gym, but there's only 5 treadmills. The only one free was one at the end of the row and there was a woman using the one next to it. I got on and was using it for maybe 5 to 10 minutes. I was in my zone with headphones on, watching my phone, not really paying attention, when I got a tap on my shoulder. The woman beside has taken her headphones off and was looking at me. I took mine off to see what she wanted, and this is what she said. Her, just so you know, the 3 treadmills on this side are free now. Me. Okay, great. Thanks for letting me know. Her, you can move to one at the end. Me, no thanks. I'm happy here as I've already started and will be finishing shortly. Her, I would feel more comfortable if you moved to the one at the end as I don't feel comfortable with you beside me, so I would appreciate it. Me, no, I'm not moving. I'm going to finish my run now. Goodbye. I began my run again and could see she was still staring at me, and then she went to a different treadmill. To preface, I have never actually seen this woman at the gym before. I've been going there for a year. I honestly thought it was a prank or something at first, but remembered that our gym has a no filming policy and they're quite set on people's privacy. That and everyone following good gym etiquette, like re-racking weights, cleaning the equipment after you use it and stuff. So for a second, I thought maybe I didn't know there was a rule. If there's a free treadmill, you move to them. But I did ask a personal trainer there as I left if that was the case, and he said no, he'd never heard of it. Now I'm worried about seeing this person again at the gym and possibly having another confrontation. Did I do something wrong, or was I wrong to not move to make this woman feel more comfortable?
That is so out there.
Okay. I retract my original statement.
Yeah. I thought this was going to be a totally different situation, but
yeah, I thought like the woman wanted to switch with him, like places maybe. That was my initial
or she was uncomfortable by someone else around her,
right?
But really wanted to finish the run and needed to switch.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, no,
but
she was
be like, I got here first. You came beside me, so now you need, like, who switches halfway through a run or halfway through any sort of workout just to get farther away from another person? I've never done that.
It's not like the rest of them were open and he was like, I just want a buddy to run next to. No, like they were, and he's not paying attention. Clearly he didn't notice they were open because he's not looking at anybody else. So why are you uncomfortable?
Yeah, no, I thought the situation was going to be like all of the treadmills were free and he chose the one right next to this person. And like,
definitely hate that.
That's the worst. That is the worst.
Or the one right behind you and you're like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh my gosh. Awful. But this guy was minding his business and he just wants to freaking work out. Like, leave people alone. Just honestly, no one is paying attention to you. Just stay in your bubble, do what you got to do, and leave people alone. Leave them alone. And sometimes they're super oblivious and they stand right in front of you and while you're facing the mirror, and that's annoying. But unless it's impeding your ability to work out, they don't need to change anything.
No, go to a private gym. But I feel like this is something that we've seen, or like I've seen anyway a lot, especially with like fitness influencers, is they'll post on social media and be like this person just kept staring at me and whatever else. And the person like glances over to see if they need a spot because they're lifting heavy and that's it. They're not like harassing you. They're not like checking you out. They're just making sure you're okay. Like personally, I was benching by myself one day and I couldn't get the thing back up. And this guy comes running. He dropped his weights, comes running across the gym. It was so embarrassing to say. But I'm very glad he did not stay in his bubble that day.
He felt like a hero. You made him feel like
totally did, and I appreciate
he was paying attention.
Yes, and I appreciate that. And I'm not gonna go on and be like, he was staring at me the whole time and he came up to me without my permission. No, I was
The
dying. I was gonna kill
audacity.
myself.
It was
So
situational awareness. That's all it was.
Also, she said that, or he said that he chose the one on the end because I was the only one available. Why didn't she move over to the one on the end so that she didn't have people on both sides? And for a duration, obviously, she had people on both sides. Why were you uncomfortable? Why weren't you uncomfortable then? Why did you choose to be uncomfortable when like you weren't flanked anymore? That makes no sense. She's like, I'm off balance. You need to move. Like,
so no, sir, you are not the a-hole.
I have a fun comment on this one too. It's the entitlement. Holy cheese whiz. You are not the a-hole. She should have moved, but no, she thinks because she is feeling any discomfort, you have to accommodate her. Clearly, the world was made to revolve around her and her comfort level. You monster. How could you not just move? LOL. Oh, yeah, because we don't reward entitlement and ridiculous behavior. Hope you had a good one.
oh my gosh. And no, it's true. Honestly, it is uncomfortable to be running next to someone, to be using any machine next to someone, and they're like the only ones. And it makes it look like you guys awkwardly chose to be next to each other. It is uncomfortable, but you know what? You get off and you go do something else, and then you come back later. Really.
I will cut my workout short.
Yeah, I will cut it short to be more comfortable.
I have
Crazy.
definitely done that before.
Yeah. Or if someone like smells really bad, you're like, I can't make
That's
a
the
scene
worst.
here. I have to leave.
Someone I didn't like walked into the gym and I was just like, I can't. And I left.
But I mean, hey, maybe we should be more upfront and tell people to move for us. I don't know. Maybe that's the world we should start living in now.
Just as soon as they come within your proximity, just give them a dirty look and be like, can you not? And then maybe it'll scare them. Honestly,
Yeah.
no, that's how you get kicked out of gyms.
Or
Gymming.
when he went up to the end one, like turned him and be like, actually, this one isn't working. I just tried it, and like lie, you know?
That was pretty good.
That's why we all need to learn sign language so we can just start signing to people when they start talking to us, so then they don't think we can hear them. That would be great.
That will make them uncomfortable immediately, for sure.
And then what do you do if they start signing back?
Walk away.
You just say no. I don't know what the sign is for no, but I know yes.
This is no.
Not the a-hole. Not the a-hole, sir. Moving on.
I thought that was yes.
This is yes. This is no. You just didn't know.
Oh, this is no. Just kidding.
Yeah,
I've
and
been
this
telling
is yes.
people. I've been telling people.
I don't know the sign for no.
You keep using the sign. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Yes. No.
You got it.
This is like knocking on your door. Like it's like
Hello.
Here I thought
Oh
these
my
people
God.
were telling me yes this whole entire time.
Okay. Am I the a-hole for telling my wife to stop buying me gifts? So my wife buys me gifts for the typical holiday, Christmas, birthday, Valentine's Day. Usually it's just stuff that I won't use, knick-knack junk. Once in a blue moon, she finds a cool knick-knack, but the rest are honestly worthy of a little more than the trash can. Fast forward to today, Valentine's Day. I bought her chocolate and flowers and a perfume that she had previously mentioned she wanted to try. Easy win. She gets me a skin spa day. Now I get it. There are plenty of guys who go to the spa and enjoy it. It's just not something I'm interested in or would ever go do. Well, apparently I'm the asshole because when she asked me when I'd make an appointment, I told her I didn't know when I would, and it's not really something I'm interested in doing. We both have busy lives, So time comes at a premium price. I'm further the asshole because I've repeatedly asked her to stop buying me gifts because they either don't get used and take up space or they go in the trash. To me, or does it make sense? Sirens, money, buying. To me, it doesn't make sense.
Take a minute.
Spend. I think it's spend.
No,
Tara's
to
gonna
me, it
edit.
just doesn't make sense to spend money buying things.
It says sirens, but it means spends. That's the word we're looking for.
There's so many mistakes on the very last sentence. Okay. To me, it doesn't make sense to spend money buying things that just get thrown away. Anyway, am I the a-hole? I don't remember what that was about.
Well, I mean, so it's kind of like how we were talking about in the last segment that, you know, people's love languages, his is just not gifts, and that's okay. And I think it depends on how he said it to her. If he was like, this stuff is junk, stop buying me things, I don't want it, then yes, you were kind of the a-hole. But if you say it in a way that's like, you know, I don't really need gifts, let's do something else instead, or celebrate, or gift giving in a different way, like, this is different. But I don't think he's the a-hole for not wanting things he's gonna throw away.
I mean, honestly, when people tell you not to spend money on them, you don't continue to spend money on them. If they like pointed out specifically, and he even told her when she asked him, he's like, I don't know when, because it's not really my thing. And if she's getting offended by that,
It doesn't sound like he's really talked to her about it, though. It doesn't sound like he says, I've told her, like, I don't want these things, or I don't like these things, or whatever. Or if she wants to buy gifts, great, but like buy the things that she likes to buy instead of buying me things because I don't want. It doesn't sound like he communicated at all. And for that reason,
I've told her multiple times to stop buying me gifts, like in general.
he says, because I repeatedly asked her to stop buying me gifts because they either don't get used and take up space or they go in the trash. I feel like what he should do is talk to her better, or like communicate better about, like, because obviously she really likes buying gifts. So talk to her about either, you know, keep buying stuff, but buy more things for yourself than for me, or these are specifically the things that like I like or I'm interested. And so
Use, yeah.
because there's a way for someone whose like love language is giving gifts to someone whose love language is not receiving them. There's a way for them to work things out, and it doesn't sound like things are being communicated well here. And like, it's sad. Yeah, obviously, if you don't want to go get a facial, you don't have to go get a facial. She can use it for herself, I'm sure. But like, she's also gonna feel bad because she went through this effort to get you a gift. She sucks at giving gifts, but she went through this effort and now you don't like it or you don't want it. And so that's gonna make her feel bad. So it seems like a recipe for like resentment, and I feel like it could be handled better.
Yeah. It sounds like she keeps buying him stuff because she keeps trying to figure out like what's gonna hit right. And maybe he needs to better communicate what he actually wants. If he knows she wants to buy gifts, tell her exactly what to buy and communicate with her like, I really would just don't want random things. I really only want these things. But I mean, I'll be honest, I think we have a brother kind of like that, and he hates knick-knacky stuff, but also we have no idea what to get him. We're also obligated to get him things on certain occasions, and it's really, really hard.
Really difficult.
We know that he likes gifts. We know he likes them.
Yeah.
But it's just not most things you've gotten. You just want the exact thing that he would like, and that's not an easy thing to guess at. And also, it's like not necessarily affordable because
in anybody's price range. Truly.
so you got to be creative, but also like be lucky in that scenario.
Yeah, I would say also be aware that you sound like the a-hole because you're rejecting gifts.
Yeah. And
Like,
I kind of
in
want to know
general.
what kind of gifts are they? Like, are they things that are genuinely just like trash? Or are they things that he thinks is trash because he just has a particular taste?
Right, and that's true. They could be normal, useful things that he sees as knick-knacky because he's a low-maintenance person.
Or high maintenance and they're just not good enough.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I feel for his wife because I like to give gifts, and it would be hard, but I don't force gifts on people either that I know.
But you also, Tara, I think you're very thoughtful about the type of gifts that people like, because I think that you've also given gifts to people who aren't necessarily like good gift receivers, but you put in a lot of thought and time to like cater it to that person and something that they're interested in. And that's not something that I think this wife is particularly doing with her husband.
Yeah, she can call us up and we can help her curate better gifts.
We'll figure it out.
Gifts, non-gifts. Non-gifts.
Tara's got that Santa Claus blood in her, so
You were pretty magic at giving gifts. You're super good at it.
It's a gift.
if anyone needs advice, hit Tara up. Sweet. And then another, am I the a-hole? For getting disinvited from my friend's wedding and ending the friendship. So just from like the title, I feel like no, but let's see. I, 24 female, had a friend, 22 female, we'll call her April. I met April during COVID at a virtual game night, and she seemed nice. We started hanging out, mostly shopping or movie nights, and slowly I realized she was the type of person who liked to one-up any story she heard. I would tell her something about myself, and she would immediately shift the focus to her and her life. She lived with her boyfriend, who was at least 6 years older. Not a big deal, except she was constantly talking about how he wasn't willing to go out or try new things, saying he already did that when he was younger, and she wished he would do more things with her. She also was always getting fired from jobs and had issues with her mom and her sister. She seemed to play the victim a lot. Now she and her boyfriend had moved in together after 3 months of dating and had been together less than a year by the time I had met her. If I would mention a single thing about my then boyfriend and I having an argument or an issue about something, April would tell me how she and her boyfriend thought my boyfriend and I should break up because he wasn't good for me. I really got tired of her drama on my birthday when a group of friends and I were going out and we had invited April. But she and her boyfriend had just broken up, so she really wasn't having a good time. I felt bad, but we wanted to have a fun night and tried cheering her up, making the night more about her than celebrating my birthday. The next
You know how Tara feels about birthdays.
We love diverting birthday attention, not really.
Not the birthday girl or boy. Mm-mm. The next morning, April told me I made a comment alluding to want to kiss her. I never did and was extremely uncomfortable that she would try to create that kind of lie and stir up drama. I told her up front I never said that and would never say that, and she seemed offended but dropped it. About a week or two later, she and the boyfriend that had broken up were engaged because she proposed to him. She asked me to be her. She asked me to be her maid of honor, and then the two of them, out of the blue, got courthouse married because he was military and about to leave, but decided to have a wedding in a completely different state a year later. When they moved, I was honestly relieved because April had become nothing but drama and was exhausting to spend time with. My boyfriend and I got engaged and were planning on buying a house after we got married. April's wedding was going to be a few months after, so I told her there was a possibility I wouldn't be able to make it and the financial hit we would take from the wedding and house. A couple days later, she texted me saying that I was no longer in the wedding party as it wasn't fair to her that I couldn't commit and was disinvited from the wedding. She then
And she
told me
was
to
the maid of honor.
That's crazy. She then told me to send her $80 for accessories she had made us buy in the wedding party, like a hanger with their wedding date etched into it and jewelry that broke immediately. Things we couldn't use any other day and were simply for photograph purposes. I sent her the money, she shipped me the items, and we haven't spoken since. Was I in the wrong for distancing that friendship? I would not have sent her the money.
Wow.
Am I the a-hole? No. That sounds awful. That sounds awful.
I love the disinvite. And then you're disinvited, send me money.
Yeah.
That is
You're not
wow.
at my wedding party, but I still need the money for my wedding party.
People who disinvite other unproblematic people from weddings, like, they're wild. Like, someone is problematic in this. And and it's usually a very clear divide. So yeah, no. That's
And also to make big decisions like that during your wedding, like you're being a bridezilla for sure. And you can just demote people, you don't have to disinvite. You can just demote.
I know. Instead of just being like, well, you can't come at all, could have just been like, okay, well, since you can't come to the wedding party, like you're still my friends, you're still invited. But
you can
yeah, how long were they friends for too? Like that seems really a fast shift to be a random friend to a maid of honor. Like, why didn't she have any other closer friends to be a maid of honor? If you
red
just
flag. Red flag.
Do that.
You're like, where are your others?
She was telling her, you are the whole entire bridal party.
I love that she tried to make out with her and then was like, that didn't work.
You made your
Most of
birthday
my
all
exes
about
would
me.
make
Why
me
are you
made up.
obsessed with me?
Yeah, why are you so obsessed with me? It's your birthday.
That's a really fun one. Not the a-hole, dear. Yeah, no.
Love that. I always think it's interesting how people send in these stories. They're like, am I the a-hole? And it's like, honestly, I think you're not. And you should know if you are, right? But it's just like, how do you make sure that you're not an a-hole in certain situations?
There are definitely people who are the a-holes though, and they're like, but they make it sound like they're not, like, especially like wild misleading titles. You're like, like, am I the a-hole for unplugging my husband's Xbox in the middle of his game? I would usually say that's not a good move.
You're not his mom. You're not his parent. Do not do that.
Like,
It's not a child.
Yeah.
You're just setting up for a bad argument between the two of you.
Yeah, no, I feel like there's other ways to get at them if that's what you're looking to do. but you want that validation, and you're like, yeah, I don't know. And they're really interesting. So like, the biggest takeaway that we can take from this is just don't be an a-hole.
How do you not be an a-hole? Just don't be one.
Just don't do it.
It's definitely hard when you're young. I'll be honest, like you're just oblivious. You haven't been in enough situations to like really test out your humanity in a way.
It's true.
Like human connection. And it takes practice. You really have to be aware of when things go south and evaluate if there was something you could have done. And if you're okay with how everything went, then you just need to like stand by that and like stand by who you are, whether it's good or not, stand by who you are. But at the same time, also just grow up. Try to grow up. Take these opportunities when you get in these situations to learn from and grow up and not repeat them. If you keep repeating them, you're the a-hole.
Practice empathy, not a-holery.
Think before you take action, maybe, or say something you shouldn't say.
Get a therapist.
Therapy is
to our
crap.
podcast. We'll give you some good advice.
Yeah. We'll tell you straight.
Air it out, then.
I feel like half of the time we're like, I mean, this could go either way.
True that. We have enough opinions to go around for sure. Beautiful. This has been another episode with your favorite girlies at Wild&T. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Wild&T. This podcast episode was produced and edited by Teddy Chanpoon, Kyron Maciel, and Dallas Hanson. Remember to subscribe, rate, review, and of course, share with your sisters. For more content, you can follow Wild&T on all platforms or our individual socials. See you next week.